Well, hello again everyone. We've got a little bit of an issue with the van. When we got back from our trip around Wales, Nikki was cleaning the shower tray and she discovered a small crack in it. Can you see it? It's just along the edge of that rim there. Now, I'm not entirely sure what's caused it. Now, of course, this is a 2012 van, so after a few years, plastics do become a little bit more brittle and prone to cracking. But there's also another couple of things I wonder about. It is right in front of the heater vent where the heat blows out, so that may have affected the plastic a little bit. There's also just a little tiny bit of movement in this corner, whereas the other corners are pretty solid. I think this tray is bedded down on something, and maybe that's broken up in this corner perhaps. Now, the van did also come with wooden duck boards for this area. Now, we usually take them out for showering, but I have read since that they are perhaps there a little bit to spread the load. Now, these are the duck boards. I've taken them out and turned them upside down. They did at one stage have little rubber bumper feet, but they have dropped off. As I say, we usually take this out when we shower because it does get wet, and the actual fact the stain on these slats sort of leaches out a little bit and makes a little bit of a mess. But I'm wondering if perhaps we'll leave that in future, because perhaps that is supposed to spread the load a bit. So anyway, I've been looking at options to try and fix this. Now, I have watched a few videos and read a few online tutorials about people who've mended their motorhome and caravan shower trays in different ways. One of the ways seems to be to apply a fiberglass coating over the top. Now, a lot of the shower trays are fiberglass. Our old one in the Ttxela 270 was fiberglass, and I guess adding fiberglass to fiberglass is not such a problem. This plastic, I think, is something different. Maybe it's ABS or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I've also seen online shower tray repair kits which are designed for sort of domestic shower trays. And I think as well, the plastics used there are different. So I'm not 100% convinced in that as a permanent repair for this. And I think once you start doing it, because you'd have to sort of drill out the little hairline crack and stuff. Once you start down that road, you're really committed, and if it doesn't work, then you're in a little spot of bother. I've come across a company called Speedy Coat. They will sort of apply some sort of spray coating. Now, that is also quite expensive. That's in the region of £400 to £500. And I've contacted Camper UK, who are the people that sold us this camper, and they are a Burstner agent, and they've quoted me shade over £500 for a new shower tray. So because I want to keep the van in as good an original condition as possible, I have gone ahead and ordered that shower tray as a part. But that is on, I think, 4 to 5 weeks delivery. So I need to do something temporary in the meantime. And what I've done is I bought myself some JB Weld plastic weld epoxy repair quick setting glue magical stuff. So the first thing I want to do is give that area a good old clean, just to make sure there's absolutely no grease or soapy bits that might stop that epoxy taking hold. Right, now I'm just going to give that a bit of a scuff up with some coarse sandpaper. And a wipe over again to get rid of any dust resulting from that. Right, so, well, apparently should be able to twist off this cap and then squeeze out the amount you want, and then put back on the cap, which keeps it reusable, and being careful not to get it all everywhere. Then you've got to mix it up. So I'm going to mix it up nice and thoroughly. You've only got 5 minutes to work this apparently, so got to be reasonably quick. A good old mix. And I've cut myself a piece of plastic to use as a spreader. It's just a bit of plastic packaging. I'm hoping right, let's get... Do you think that's mixed enough? Hopefully so. Right. I'm going to apply that all the way along there. I've noticed a little bit of blue paint is coming off the pencil. Not much I can do about that at this stage. Ah, bugger. At least this is only a temporary repair. I want to get a decent amount on, but again, I don't want to daub it so it looks horrendous. Take that a little bit further than the crack extended originally. I mean, some might, if this works, I guess some folk might be happy with this as a permanent repair. I guess I would if it was a older van. The old Talbot, I wouldn't have worried in the slightest about leaving it like this. But I guess in this van I'm trying to preserve the resale value a little bit. Just in case. You never know when disaster might come around the corner at you. Right. I don't think I'm going to overwork that. I'll leave that to do its setting. Should be set in 5 minutes and completely cured, I believe, in half an hour. Actually, 1 hour, look. And I've just noticed it did come with a little wooden spreader, so no need to ruin your favourite pencil. Right, well now I've got these stick-on sort of gel rubber feet things. I'm hoping they'll be a little bit waterproof. I can see roughly where they were attached before on this. And at each point I'm just going to give it a little bit of a sand off and stick one on. And yeah, then hopefully that'll be back to how it was. At the moment, obviously, if you leave this down, these strips get a little bit waterlogged and they become not very nice, really. I guess at some point this whole thing really needs sanding off and retreating. Maybe with some teak oil or something. Because certainly whatever it was treated with before does leach out a little bit with the water, which is not ideal. Let me know what you think on this duckboard. Do you leave the duckboard in when you're showering? Do you take it out? What is the purpose of the duckboard? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to do this and hopefully it'll help. Well, there we go. Hopefully these little rubber dot feet things will stop the thing sliding around, the duckboard sliding around so much, and also raise it up just slightly so it keeps a bit drier underneath, and also helping spreading that load when we leave the duckboards in from now on, because I think that's what we'll do. We'll leave the duckboards in when we use the shower. Well, it has been well over an hour now, but one thing I always recommend is when you use stuff like this, keep the spare that you mixed up on the little bit of cardboard or whatever, and then you can use that to see if you think it's dry or not. And yeah, that's dried pretty much completely. So there we go, there's my finished temporary repair. It's not exactly invisible, but it is pretty discreet, and I'm pretty happy that that can now be used for showering without causing any problems, because of course the last thing you want is damp getting through a crack in the shower tray into the floor underneath. So now I reckon I'm okay to put those duckboards back in. And there you go, with the duckboards in place. So there you go, I'll be keeping a close eye on that repair of course, but I'm fairly confident that that will last at least until our new shower tray arrives.